How's it going, Sens fans? Welcome back to another video. Finally, some exciting news for you guys today. Training camp has officially started, so all of our favorite players are currently back at the CTC, practicing, seeing who's going to make camp and who's going to make Belleville this year. There's been pictures on the Sens Instagram of the Senators back practicing at the Canadian Tire Center. I'm going to sprinkle them throughout this video so you can see, even if they're not relevant what we're talking about, we're just going to put them in. It's great to see them laughing and having a good time again, because they're just excited to be back, and we're excited to see them back. Since training camp started, a lot of news has come out from Pierre Dorion and DJ Smith regarding the team's rosters and its players. I'm just gonna address all that real quick, keep you guys in the loop. So the first order of business was on the 28th, this is the start of training camp. Dorion said, young players on the roster have to earn and prove their spot. The youth aren't ready to take that next step next year. Instead of forcing them into that role, they kind of did that with Brandstrom last year. They're just going to send them down the minors so they can better develop, and they'll get other opportunities throughout the season with the taxi squad and all the injuries bound to happen. Stepan, Paquette, and Braden Coburn are currently not at training camp. It's because Stepan headed to the border. His wife just gave birth, so he's going to be coming to Ottawa to quarantine. And Paquette and Braden Coburn still need to quarantine before joining the Senators. They haven't come from Tampa Bay yet. Currently have 36 players at training camp at this moment in time. This is including all our prospects and one white contract. In terms of our lines, DJ Smith has said nothing is set in stone. There's no suspended lines. You have to remember we are missing Stepan, Coburn, Paquette, as well as Tim Stutzle, who's over at the World Juniors right now. Germany has moved on to the next round. They play Russia. DJ Smith also believes the Ottawa Senators will have the most rookies out of any other team in the North Division, and that is very much true. The Habs are going to have quite a few rookies coming up. The least roster's pretty much set. They may have one or two come up. In terms, there are nights where a lot of the roster is going to be occupied by rookies this year. That's why they're also bringing in so many veterans. You can't just throw in all these kids. You gotta provide backup for them. That also explains all the recent trades done by Pierre Dorion in the recent days. First scrimmages are going to start happening soon. So that's going to be a mix of NHL and AHL level players. If you're familiar with preseason games where they do split squads, they'll have like half of the normal Senators roster in one place, half of a bunch of prospects, and same with another city. They'll be practicing against each other. They'll be seeing who's doing well. They'll all be fighting for the same spot on the roster. Another note is DJ Smith would like to keep Erik Brandstrom on the left side of defense, even though the left side is pretty stacked. Obviously, that's the stronger side. That's the way he shoots. That's the way he's played. The Senators have a lot of left-handed defensemen. That's going to be something for another video. So I want to give him as much opportunity as they can. Some defensemen can play both sides. Some can't. We just got to hope that Brandstrom finds his game this season. And DJ Smith also said that one of the best performers at camp so far has been Artem Anismov. Artem Anismov was injury-prone last season. He missed quite a bit of time with injuries. So having spent time off since March, that should have been very good for his health. So who knows, maybe he found some of his game. Maybe he'll be better this year. I think he could have hit 20 goals, potentially close to 20 if it had not been postponed. So I'm hoping he finds his game back. I was a big fan of the role he played last year. He scored some big clutch goals, 2 in the Chris Phillips retirement game with Buffalo to help put the Sens over the top. He had the OT winner against Dallas. Very solid addition, I thought, when we picked him up. And some other side news, just in case you get confused later when you're watching the news. There have been some number changes. Nosh Norris has switched from number 37 to number 9. So just how Bobby Ryan swiped up McCulloch's number 9 right after he was traded to Toronto. They bio Bobby Ryan and Nosh Norris snags that number 9. Marco Schoberg has switched his number from number 35 to number 1. And Rudolfs Balcers has switched his number from 38 to 92. So I waited a few days after recording the original video to release, because I thought I'd do some audio segments based on newer information that's come out. So really quickly, the Senators have established their leadership group for the season. If you hadn't seen, they have named Brady Tkachuk and Thomas Chabot alternate captains, which none of us really should be surprised about since they had that role last year. But Erik Brandstrom was also named assistant captain. Again, this is a very Ron Hainsey-like move to me that will demonstrate leadership and could be flipped at the deadline for that reason, as well as any extra value he might put up during his time in Ottawa. And it is likely that Stepan will be an alternating captain in case one of them gets hurt, or Darius might switch them out regularly, because Stepan was, he's been a solid leader everywhere he's played. And another last piece of major information, DJ Smith says he will use this season to determine whether Thomas Chabot or Brady Tkachuk is named captain of the Ottawa Senators. Erik Brandstrom says that Thomas Chabot has balls and isn't afraid to try things, while also stating that Brady Tkachuk plays like a man already and couldn't believe that Brady Tkachuk is already 21 years of age.
So our camp has been going really well. Everyone's having a great time. Pure Dorian's gonna have a really hard time bringing the roster down to the final cut, just because there's so much out there. And I'm pretty sure that concludes it.
This is the latest news to come out of the Senators head office. Full training camp roster should be released tomorrow, I believe, and I will be keeping you guys updated as that goes on as well. So if you guys like this video, please like, share, subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll keep you guys updated as training camp goes on. See you guys in the next video. Go Sens, go!